Your brain is being significantly underutilized. And I don't mean metaphorically, I mean literally, psychologically, biologically. A lot of philosophers and psychologists have estimated that over the past couple hundred years, the human IQ has been steadily decreasing. It's not hard to find examples of this in modern life. Most people, if they didn't have their GPS telling them exactly where to turn, they would get lost. Most people, when they see more than a couple hundred words of text, they panic. Wall of text. And they look for the too long didn't read signal at the bottom so they don't have to stress themselves. Most people, when they're watching videos on TikTok, they look down at the bottom at the scroll bar, and if it looks like the video is going to take more than a couple, 3 minutes, they panic. I don't have time to watch a 3-minute video on TikTok. I need something easier to digest for my poor little brain. But it didn't used to be like this. We didn't used to have such weak brains. To give you an example of your potential up in your head, consider the ancient Druids. The ancient Druids were a class of high priests within the Celt community between about 200 BC and about 200 AD. And to become a Druid, you couldn't just decide to become a Druid. You weren't born into the Druid priesthood. You had to study and pass a very rigorous exam to become a Druid. But here's the thing about Druids. Not only did they have to study and pass an exam on pretty much everything that they knew in their culture, everything about botany, everything about biology, everything about medicine, everything about philosophy, everything about religion, but they had to pass an oral test. See, the ancient Druids believed that reading and writing was cheating. It was a crutch for the lazy brain. So in order to become a Druid, you had to essentially get a PhD or their equivalent of a PhD in pretty much every field of study. But you had to study only by listening to people talk. And you had to pass your exams by giving thoroughly comprehensive answers to whatever questions the professors would ask you. And only then, once you studied for about 10 years, that's about how long it took of just listening and soaking up information and then being responsible for that information through an oral test, only then could you become a Druid. Now that seems a bit strange today because we know that intuitively, exercise is beneficial. Exercise is healthy. Everybody kind of wishes they would exercise more. We understand nobody needs to convince us that exercising our body is necessary and important. But for some reason, we don't think that exercising our brain is as important as exercising our body. But it would be pretty silly to think that your body is more important than your brain. Your brain is your most important asset. Your brain is responsible for everything you do. So it kind of makes sense that you would want to exercise your brain so you can get a leg up on your competition. Because the more you exercise your brain, the smarter you'll seem to other people. The more you'll be able to solve problems before your friends and enemies even realize that a problem exists. The more you exercise your brain, the more likely you'll be able to achieve whatever successes you dream of achieving. Luckily for you, dear viewer, I've got just the solution to help you exercise your brain on a daily basis. And that is to spend a little bit of time, just spend a few minutes every day studying algebra. When you study algebra, your friends and enemies will give you the respect and admiration that you crave. You can use your brain enhanced by studying algebra to become more persuasive or to become more intelligent. When you study algebra, you will become far more successful than you can possibly imagine, and you will see interactions between variables out in the world that most people don't even know exist. Because you are already watching this video, you have an inkling inside your brain that you can become better than you are right now. And when you make the decision right now to study algebra, you will become a better person. When you make a solid decision to study algebra every day, you will start to see all kinds of connections and permutations and hidden variables made plain as day in front of your face while you go through your daily life and see how you can operate on the world to get whatever it is you want out from the world. The more you study algebra, the more you'll be able to do this. Leonardo da Vinci said that algebra is the language of God. So if you study algebra, you will become more versed in the language of heaven and will be seated at the right hand of the Father for all eternity. The more you study algebra, the more you'll realize that your brain is a secret weapon of massive success achievement, and it will turbocharge your ambition far greater than you can possibly imagine. Imagine if you had been studying algebra for the past 6 months. Imagine what great shape your brain would be in today. Imagine the competitive advantages you have over your friends today. Imagine what your brain will be like in 6 months if you make the decision right now to study algebra every day. Any recent dreams and fantasies you have about your future, the things you'd like to achieve, will be much more likely to happen if you make the decision right now to study algebra. You can repeatedly improve your ability to see through the lies that politicians speak every day if you make a point to study algebra and make logic in your brain much more stronger and create stronger logic filters through which you see and perceive the world. Does it really matter if studying algebra is not inherently pleasant? When you think about the long game successes, you will find that your overall pleasure can only increase the more you study algebra. How many ways do you think that studying algebra will help you achieve your wildest fantasies? Once you truly begin to understand the benefits of studying algebra, you'll wonder why you didn't start studying algebra earlier. It is your desire to become as successful as you possibly can, despite the chaotic train wreck that the world is turning into, that will cause you to understand the benefits of studying algebra every single day. It's much better to study algebra compared to what most people do, which is use their brains as a passive entertainment device to let their brains consume information passively given to them from the TV, from videos, and from weird people on YouTube. Once you truly realize the benefits of being able to study algebra, you'll never look back, and your future will be filled with unfettered abundance and delicious success only dreamed about by most normal people. If you'd like to make some comments about your desires, if you'd like to share your intentions to study algebra, please leave a comment below. If you'd like to learn more about how to improve yourself, improve your language, improve your hypnotic capabilities, check out the links below. Thank you for watching this video. Please like, share, and comment. Thanks again. See you next time.